Hi everyone, my name is Nicola. I am simply a stitcher. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. If you are returning, thank you for coming back and spending some more time with me today. So today's Stitch With Me will be one with a chapter elements, and I am working on She Sleeps. The artwork is by Stephanie Pui-Mun Law. This one is the Heaven and Earth Designs version. Let me just find the mock-up so I can show you the mock-up, because I often forget to do that. And I'm working along the bottom here, and I'm aiming to join up the circle on this one. So as it stands this morning, I'm 110 stitches in, and let's see how far I can get. So just before I start, if you want to know how I start and end my threads, if you hover over the top right hand corner of this video, a little I button will appear and it will take you to the video. You can access that at any point during this video. So let's see how many stitches I can get done and what's in the comment bag today. Because again, I've had another lovely crop of comments from everybody, and thank you all so much. But first of all, hope everybody is well. I'm doing okay. I'm better than I was last week and improving day by day. Went and got weighed last night, another 1.5 pounds off. So that takes me to 4 stone 5.5 pounds, or 61.5 pounds. So I'm very happy with that. It's coming down nicely. Might not be quite as quick as I want it now, but as I lose the weight, I do expect that the weight losses will get lighter. So it's not something that I am concerned about. Slow and steady. It's taken a while to go on. It'll take a while to come off. But yeah, I mean, I'm still hoping to be at my goal for the early spring, and then towards the maintenance phase. So yeah, I'll just keep going. Every time I go to group, I'm happy to see that loss on the scale, and you know, I'm enjoying the journey. I think my next phase really is to sort of try and be a little bit more physical, but at the minute I just don't have the time. Mainly because I like to spend my time stitching. So, you know, going out or whatever is not on my desired list of things to do, because I'd prefer to be indoors stitching, especially while it's a little cold at the moment. Although having said that, the last few days have been quite mild. But yeah, I really ought to do a little bit more physical activity. Things will take priority, don't they? I mean, stitching, of course, will take priority. Of course, as you all know, I do work, and there's still overtime at the moment, which is needed. So yeah. Anyway, oh crikey, this one keeps coming unthreaded. Oh, excuse me, I've got hiccups too. Okay, that's better. 1, 2, 3, 4. That one goes in there. Lots of greys, purples, pinks, lilacs on this little section here. So. Okay, so let's start with a few comments. And as you all know, I am a bit of a squirrel, so I may go off at a tangent. If that's the case, then, you know, do bear with me. I will get back to the comments. Okay, so 721 Irish on my Stitch With Me with Envy, the one where we gave her partial face. Says, hi Nicola, happy hump day Wednesday. Because, as you know, I film a flush tubes on a Wednesday and a Friday. Today is a Friday, and that just happened to be a flush tube that went out on a Wednesday. Then Joe Sorensen, where am I stitching in this colour? Here. Says, hi Nicola, and wow, I can't believe you're starting on her face. This is, of course, again, Envy. Great progress for sure. So excited to see her face completed. Stitch faster. Just kidding. Enjoyed spending time with you as always. Well, Envy has since had another outing, and her face is now, I would say, 95-ish% completed. There's still some sort of edgy bits to go, but yeah, it looks very good. And if you're on my Instagram, which is at Simply a Stitcher, it is a public profile, so even if you're not on Instagram, you should be able to Google it and see. I did post a picture of Envy's completed face. Also, if you're on my Facebook, if you're a personal friend of mine on Facebook, I'll put it on there too. But yeah, Envy looks awesome at the moment. I'm very pleased. But of course, you know, I will be showing her in my floss tube next Tuesday. Okay. Dolly Jean Aiden says, glad she has a face now. Yeah, Envy is quite a popular piece. Where did I stitch here? Envy's quite a popular piece. She is a channel favourite. That, A Stitching Shelf, and Realm of Middle Earth seem to get the best interactions, I think. They're all beautiful pieces, and I just absolutely love them. Stitching Shelf will be out for my live on Sunday, so I'm quite looking forward to that. Last time Stitching Shelf was out on the channel and Stitch With Me, I put that one out as an alternative, so we had some music. Esther says, thank you for sharing. My pleasure as always. I do love Stitching Shelf. It is a regular size max colour. I'm quite glad I got the regular size though, not the super size, because I can see progress on it. Certainly a lot quicker than the super size version would give. That's not to say that, not to be disparaging about a super size. It's just that certainly for me, I like to see progress that little bit quicker. I've got 2 super size max colour projects, and it's going to be a while before I see anything significant on those because of the sheer size and number of stitches. And those are very long-term projects, and until at least one of them is completed, I don't intend to start another supersized max colour, because I think 2 is enough. You know, 2 projects heading towards 1 million stitches each. One's got like nearly 800,000, one's got very close to 1 million. I think it would be foolish of me to pick up another supersized max colour, because when am I going to finish it? I mean, the 2 pieces that I have already are taking me into retirement, and this is before I start all my Gecko Rouge pieces next year. So there we go. 721 Irish on Stitching Shelf also says, thank you for sharing. It says thank you more precisely. Live stream number 2 happened a couple of weeks ago, and Lynn, who's Crazy Stitcher, says, I finished my blessing sampler. Congratulations on your finish, Lynn. I think I've seen it on Facebook. I'm not sure. Might have to go and have a little mooch. I see such a lot of stitching because Facebook and Instagram and YouTube, you know, the stitching lines do blur. But I will go and, excuse me, I will go and remind myself of what the blessing sampler looks like. Okay. She also mentions that she's doing a floss inventory. Long job, but very worthwhile. I plan on doing an inventory of mine. I'm off on annual leave, week commencing the 12th of February. So I've just got next week to work. 26th today. I might have 2 more weeks to work. Can't remember. Anyway, week commencing 12th of February. Let me just have a look, actually. Calendar. So today is 26th. Yeah. I've got next week and the week after to work, and then I'm off for a week's annual leave. So I plan on inventorying my thread, my cones, because I know I don't have every one. And when I last did a master set, or topped up my master set, should I say, there were a couple of cones where the numbers weren't on my floss cards, and also there were a couple of cones, a few cones that I didn't have and I didn't realise, and I was at the point that I needed the thread, so I had to then order the thread, which took a week to come, and then it was delivered to the wrong house, and so on and so forth. So I figured if I did a little inventory, then perhaps redid my floss card collection as well, to add in, you know, the colours that I missed. Don't quite know why I missed them. They may even be discontinued colours, I'm not sure. But yeah, we'll sort it, I'm sure. So Joe comments on my stitching shelf saying starting on the left again, nice progress. Stay warm. it's been very mild just recently, the last couple of days. It has been cold here, but then all of a sudden it went very mild. And even though we've had yet another winter storm, I walked out of the office yesterday and on Tuesday to rain and wind, but the wind was warm and it was almost like a summer rainstorm, but without the light, because obviously when I come out of the office at 5 p.m, at the moment it's dark. So yeah, been a bit bizarre here. I can throw a few colour changes already. Okay. Move my needle minder down really, then I'm not going to put my hand across the screen. Okay. Lynette Meller says, very happy birthday, Nicola. Missed the live stream this morning. This is on live stream 2, but sitting with you now. It's 11 a.m. I'm working on Mirabilia's Roses of Provence. Almost finished the stitch. Then the beading. I'm aiming for a month, end of the month completion and finish. Fingers crossed. Beautiful, beautiful piece. Have you got any further on that one, Lynette? You'll have to let me know. Always love to hear of finishes, and of course I'm a big cheerleader for all of my stitchy pals. So if you have finished, congratulations, and if you haven't, keep going, girl, you got this. I know with Mirabilias sometimes they can have a lot of beading, which can be daunting, but it's so worth it in the end. Says she who has 2 Mirabilias. Well, I've Mirror and a Nora, and I haven't started either yet. I really ought to do so. I've got the thread I need. Well, certainly for the Nora I have. And the bead pack might be add that in next year as a start. Or I could take it as an office project. Lots of thoughts going through my head. A bit of a squirrel. Anyway, Missia Ma says, happy birthday. There are no sins in any cake, not just birthday cake. Oh, I wish. We had a bake sale at work yesterday. One of our colleagues, her child is ill with a retinoblastoma, which is a form of eye cancer. So we had a bake sale and it was very tempting, but no, managed to be good. Happy to donate with things like this, but I will, not participate in the cake. So I was talking on my floss tube about the postie dropping my threads through the wrong letterbox and a battle to get them back. People were in and not answering the door. And, we must have, Andy and I, between us, must have gone around about 6 or so times. And eventually, at 8:30 at night, Andy managed to retrieve my thread from them, along with another letter, because the postie clearly cannot read. How you can confuse a 3 and a 7, I do not know, because when the packaging came in, I did check. I definitely put a 3 on the address, which I did. And I also inspected the package for any signs of water damage or anything like that, or anything handwritten which would make the number illegible. But there was nothing. So yeah, it's just a pure case of the postie's eyes are painted on. So, I know what's happened. He'll have done it in a rush, not looked properly. The only thing that he doesn't realise is that, you know, sometimes it's hard to get these parcels back. You know, and if he'd have dropped it through my door instead of the one up the road, I'd have been using that thread, you know, within an hour. Anyway, all's well that ends well. I eventually got it back. That's what matters, I think. If I hadn't got it back, it would have been an enormous faff having to get in touch with the supplier for them to make a claim with the post office because it was a track delivery. Anyway, digressing again. Really naughty. Oh, have I got enough thread on this one? Is it longer than my needle? Yes, it is. Doing a cross with that much thread because there's just one single ninja stitch of this blue. It's down here a little bit. Yeah, we did it. Sometimes it's not easy to do it with a teeny tiny length of thread, but I got there. Right, okay. Where are we now? What's this one? Oh, another flaming ninja stitch. Ruh. Okay. So Mrs. Miggins says on my floss tube 3, envy looks great. Must have been watching with my eyes shut because I hadn't seen it before, and I do vaguely remember you mentioning it on Sunday. Arts and design are best for delivery, plus the price are good too. This is when we're talking about thread. Thanks for the recommendation. That's fantastic. Sorry, I'm just making sure I get the stitch in the right place. The company that I bought from are absolutely fine as well. The difficulty is the actual postal systems, and they're all as bad as one another really, because whether or not you get it delivered by postman, by DPD, by Every, by Yodel, whoever, they're all as bad as one another at times, aren't they? I mean, I don't like to sort of end up having to go to Hobbycraft and pay, you know, £1 something a skein for thread when I can get it online for much less. But sometimes needs must. It's not the supplier that's the issue, it's the reliable delivery service. Okay. So I'm just getting 2 strands of this one. This is being stitched 2 over 1 full cross on some 20 count, and if I've got a large patch of stitching, rather than using 1 strand of thread and going for a loop start, I use 2, and start by catching in the back of the thread as seen on my video. So right, come on you go. Okay, Linda, love to stitch, just how frustrated about your floss, hope you get them soon, love your progress. Yep, got them, used them already. Put the rest in my little storage bin I have for skeins. Try and be a bit organised with, you know, my floss storage if I can. Michelle M says happy belated birthday, hope you had a lovely day. Sorry to hear about your parcel, hope you did manage to get it, happy stitching. Yep, we're all good, thank you for that. Still haven't ordered my birthday gift from Andy yet, by the way, because I still don't have my Christmas gift kit from Gecko Rouge, and I'm loath to order another one until that one has safely arrived. So okay, 721 Irish says hope you find your threads. And then Red, thank you for cheering for me. I finished my semester with good grades. We were talking with Red on a live stream, and there were some examinations coming up. So she's finished with good grades and will spoil herself with some good stitching time. And this video, which was Nadia Strokina Selling Fairy, is perfect to start with it. Hope you're feeling well and also have good stitching. Yeah. So that's awesome. We're very happy that you've got good grades, and I know that you've got more work to do. But hey, you know, every good grade is a step towards that goal, isn't it? So congratulations. Just realised I'm almost out of shot here. Wait a minute. That's better. Okay. Missy says, thank you for another great video. No problem, Missy. I do have your email. I will sit and reply to you. I've read it. I'm just thinking about it. Sometimes I don't reply straight away because I want to think about what I say, because I certainly don't want to say the wrong thing. But yeah, you're very welcome for the video. No problem. And I just want to say that I do hope things are improving for you, and you are in my thoughts. Random Stitcher, hello Random Stitcher. I know that you are a flush tuber because I've seen some of your videos. Random Stitcher says, hi there new sub, your channel popped up and I love Stitch With Me videos, so here I am. Welcome. 3 kinds of Stitch With videos that I do, some with chat, some with music, and some with nothing at all. So whichever one is your particular favourite, there should be something on my channel for you. So yeah, make yourself at home, come and join in with our lives on a Sunday. It'd be lovely to have you along. I think if I remember correctly from watching your videos, Random Stitcher, you are from, I think you are from Denmark. that's a test of my memory. I could be wrong, it's happened before. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that you're from Denmark. I'm pretty sure that's how my subscriber count goes up, because randomly my video must pop up for some people, which is always, you know, why, you know, we say, you know, give videos a like, because it does. What have I done here? It does encourage the YouTube algorithm to share my video with other stitches. No, that's wrong. What have I done? Oh, I've got a couple of stitches in the wrong place. That's what I've done. These two dark purple ones here are in the wrong place. I'm going to do a very naughty, and I'm going to oversew one of them rather than unpick. I should just leave the other. So, fudge alert. There you go, you wouldn't even know. Okay. As you can probably tell, not only do I not like to flip my hoop, I don't like to frog either. Do occasionally, if I do put 1 or 2 stitches in the wrong place, I might just oversew it. Okay. So, Sharon on Sailing Fairy, stitch with me with chat, the last one, says, excuse me, says, nice catch up, Nicola. Looking forward to seeing what floss cards are. I'm a bobbinator and I hate it. Such a waste of life, especially when you've had more than a few. Yep, that's why I don't like bobbinating, the time it takes. Good luck today. Slimming well, I'm not sure how active you are, but indoor walking might help to shift the stubborn pounds when you start slowing down. Good idea. I've seen a few videos out and about indoor walking. So I just have to have a look at that. I've also got one of those hoop things with the weight on it. I haven't constructed it yet or tried it. So that's something else that I'm going to be looking at doing. I follow a routine on here, and I can get the same steps in half an hour than I get when I go around the local park. I don't replace outdoor with indoor, but only on wet days. Chair cardio is good too. I suffer with back and hip issues, so do go easy, but there's something for everyone. Anyway, I enjoyed this video. You have a very soothing and relaxed way about you. Makes a good listen. Thank you for sharing. Thank you, Sharon. I do try to make these videos relaxed. I don't, I'm never in a rush with these, because I would lose focus on my stitching and replace it with focus on the comments. Whilst the comments are important, lots of you are here for the stitching. So, okay. See, like that. See, just as I put that needle down, I looked over at Pattern Keeper and I'd split the block because I'm a numpty. Okay, that's better. Right, okay. So, Witchy Alex Stitcher. Amazing progress on your whips. Very much enjoying the video. Questions. How do you reach high numbers every day on your stitching? Any tips for a lower number stitcher, i.e. me? Right. I've talked about this before, but happy to go over it because I know that some people are new and maybe won't have watched all of my previous videos. I mean, 260 of them. Nobody ain't got time for that. You're talking about hours of content. So for me, a couple of things add a great advantage to my stitching. The first thing being the fact that I work from home. The second thing is that, generally speaking, I'm a fairly early riser. I can get up any time after 5 a.m. Sometimes it's 5 a.m. on the dot. Sometimes I might wake up at 5 a.m. and snooze the alarm and get up at 5:30. Sometimes it might be 6 o'clock when I finally get myself out of bed. But generally speaking, I'm an early riser. I know this stitch is about to go off, but this is my last one. I start work at 9 o'clock. It takes me less than 10 minutes to set up my workstation, make a coffee, and spend a penny before I start work. So I come downstairs, and the night before, I will have set out the stitching that I want to do the following day, because I I follow a rotation of 500 stitches per day on whatever piece it is that comes up in rotation. Today it just so happens it's Sailing Fairy. No, not Sailing Fairy. She Sleeps. And then after I've completed 500 stitches on that piece, I then move to whichever piece of mine is closest to a finish and stitch the remainder of the day on that. At the moment, it's Autumn Waltz. It's closest to a finish in terms of stitches. There are, I think we're over 60% done on that of 23,000 stitches. So, maths. Can't do maths. Sometimes, some days, if I haven't got anything on, like work, like last week when I was sick, I wasn't able to work. So I did 1,000 stitches on each piece in one day, and then the second day just worked the whole day on Autumn Waltz. But that's for another day. Anyway, so I set out whatever piece it is that I'm working on, my rotation piece. So when I come down, Andy has already come down before me. He's usually fed the cat, and I've got to flip my hoop. He's usually fed the cat and made me a coffee. And at that point, there's nothing else really for me to do because it's too early to do anything like work or chores or anything like that. So I pick up my needle. I have to be mindful that I've got a daughter who's still in school. So one of the things that I will do is, even though I'm just sat here stitching, I will make sure that she is up and keep an eye on the time for her leaving for her school bus. By 7:30, the house is mine because Andy's gone to work, Lauren's gone to school. although Hannah is usually in. She's in today, she's upstairs with the cat. But I'm still in stitchy time. I will start work. I'll leave my stitching at about 9:15. I'll go and set up ready for work. And in that, I will go make a coffee, set up my laptop and get it going, spend a penny. Maybe might get dressed at that point because I'm still not dressed. And then I'm ready to start work at 9. During my working day, I have a 10-minute break in the morning. If I'm not dressed, I will go and get dressed because I like my pyjamas and my warm clothes. Some days I may not get dressed. I might just go and have a bath in the evening in a full change of clothes, depending on how I feel. I don't have to go anywhere. Not much point in getting dressed, is there? All I'm doing is mucking up clothes by sitting around in the house. Please don't judge me for that. So if I'm already dressed, mind you, even if I am getting dressed, I'll also grab my breakfast at break time as well, which is usually some fruit and yoghurt. So I'll get that and then back to work until lunchtime. My lunch is usually something quite quick, and I can have eaten my lunch in sort of 10-15 minutes. I have an hour lunch break, so guess what? 45 minutes of stitchy time. If I'm in the office, I usually take my princess, although I didn't this week. And I still even get in stitchy time when I'm in the office. Although it is slightly shortened because it's a much longer walk from the seating area where I have my lunch back to my desk. So I do have slightly less stitchy time in the office. If I do have a floss tube, if it's a Monday, I do usually have a floss tube to film. So that I usually tend to do on my dinner time as well. But even if I'm filming my floss tube and having my lunch, I still get around about half an hour of stitchy time. Then I go back to my desk and I work until 5 o'clock. I do have another 10-minute break in the afternoon, but generally that one is, just to get my breath back, really. I don't do anything in that afternoon break, bar the usual spend a penny, get a drink, that kind of thing. Then in an evening, Mondays I do a supermarket shop, and then I have to have tea, so I might not get to stitch until about 7 o'clock in the evening. But, when I finish work at 5, usually it's a quick meal, and I'm usually stitching by about sort of 6, and I stitch until 10. But between 6 and 10, I will go and have a bath, and get into my PJs if I'm not already, or a fresh pair of PJs, depending. And I stitch until sort of 10 p.m. So I get 3 to 4 hours in an evening, less bath time, which is only about 20 minutes of stitching. I also say that I'm very fortunate in the respect that I have Andy, because Andy is a part-time worker, whereas I work full-time. Andy does take on the majority of the household chores. I do the shopping and I prepare meals 2-3 times a week, but he tends to do the household chores, the washing, the cooking, the cleaning, laundry, tidying up, that kind of thing. He tends to sort of do that because he knows that, with me working full-time hours and him working part-time hours, it's only fair. So we've got a nice sort of balance of division of chores, which is nice. On a weekend, if I don't have any plans to go anywhere, I can literally stitch all day. And I'm still an early riser, even if I have overtime at work, I still manage to get stitching all day. Sundays I host my stepdad for his lunch, but the rest of the day I stitch. So for me, I'm very fortunate to have the time. My children are that little bit older, they can look after themselves largely, and of course I have Andy, who does an awful lot around the house as well. So my stitching time is fortunate, but my stitching style is usually two-handed with a frame, so I'm not having to hold on to stitching and sort of just use the one hand. So excuse me, tickly throat, let me just grab a drink. Oh, that's better. So yeah, it's a mixture of being fortunate and using my Lowry stand, which is what I'm using today. Practiced being a two-handed stitcher, which has been of huge benefit and does speed up the stitching process no end. Okay, so I hope that helps. So if you are not a two-handed stitcher, my advice is buy a stand. You can get them fairly cheaply, just basic ones to start with to see if you like it. Buy a stand, start two-handed stitching, you'll not look back. Pattern keeper as well for marking off rather than wading through paper is an enormous help because it's so much quicker. I mean, I'm fairly ambidextrous but can stitch with either hand on top. Most people I'm predominantly right-handed, and most people who are predominantly right-handed stitch with their left hand on top. I buck that trend and stitch with my right. Because my left hand is almost as good as my right hand. The one way you can't see what it's doing, generally speaking, should be your dominant hand, if that makes sense. But because mine are pretty much equal, the only exception with my dexterity is writing. I can't write with my left hand, but my left hand is just as good as my right for anything else. Anyway, Sherry comments to say, thanks for the video, progress is looking good, which was on Sailing Fairy. Yeah, 5% through that chart already, it's amazing. It's coming along so well. Betsy says happy belated birthday. My birthday was on the 12th. Envy is looking absolutely lovely. Wonderful stitching progress this time around, as always. I certainly hope Andy is successful in retrieving your parcel. The numbers 43 and 47 look nothing alike. I understand your frustration at the postal system. Yep, absolutely, they look nothing alike. And the irony is that one of the letters that was posted to the wrong house was for Specsavers opticians, which I found slightly amusing. Okay, so Female Crusader asks on my night cafe stitch with me, so my thread's just come unthreaded again. In this design, are you colour blending to make the shades differ of the same colour? I'm learning and right now reading from the Royal School of Needlework's Book of Embroidery. So Night Cafe is a half cross-stitch piece, so not an embroidered one. You would be more likely to use a colour blend in embroidery, although having said that, that doesn't mean that colour blends don't happen in the world of cross-stitch, because they do. This one, however, is not a colour. I don't have any colour blended pieces. So all of my current work in progresses have a full cross using the same colour. So using 2 strands of the same colour. So no blending involved for this one. Although because it's such a lot of colours in Night Cafe, it might give the impression of blending. And I think that's probably down to the original artwork looking sort of very brushstrokes and blended, and the charting, you know, reflecting that. So as the comments on my whip parade, saying hello to all. Thank you for sharing all your beautiful projects. I also think that next year's whip parade will obviously show less, but then we'll be looking at some new starts. So I'm already quite looking forward to that, bizarre as it sounds. I'll probably do a mid-year one as well, just to show progress since January too. I think we're doing okay on progress. Get rid of that. Okay, Clara posts on my flash tube. No, hoping you've got your parcel by now. Praying for you to lose those pounds. Lovely stitching as always. See you next time. I'm still dealing with the frog on pandemic. I just don't understand why I'm miscounting. Try now to be more careful, possibly because I want to finish it. I just need the last 2 1/4 pages to go. I think as well with pandemic, I haven't mentioned this before, but I think also Julia kind of puts a little tricksy bits in the charting. I don't think it's designed to sort of catch you out. It's just so that it's not quite so regimented, symmetrical, or everything in the right place kind of thing. It's quite unique. But I'm about to, well, I've got most of the bottom row to finish on my pandemic, so I really must get that out. I keep saying that one day I'll actually do it, won't I? Okay, next one. Clara also then comments on She Sleeps. No, not She Sleeps. That's the one I'm working on. Sailing Fairy. I will get this right. Yay that you've reached the end of that 10 by 10 row. The blues matched your thumbnail polish. It's not quite blue, this one, Clara. It's more of a purple than a blue. Just show you there. But yeah, they do match because they're more indigo, I think. Don't forget to use the £10 that Gecko Rouge gifted us in the email. I won't. Expires end of January. You can get your club discount and then enter the code. I enjoy listening to the comments rather your other subs leave you, makes the hour go by so quickly. Hoping you get snow. We didn't get any. It's just been super cold. Thanks to our great Lord for central heat. Bye-bye for now. Yep. Agree with that, Clara. I'm glad that you didn't get snow. But yes, thank God for central heating. It certainly makes a huge difference. There was also then a comment saying, I think it was Rosemary, couldn't get onto the live chat. She's had to create a channel to join. Do I know a way around this? Unfortunately, I don't. So you would have to have a YouTube account and maybe create a channel, but you don't have to put any content on it. Unless, of course, you choose to. And if you do become a floss tuber, I'll happily watch. So, you know, I know that you're on now, but I don't know a way around it, I'm afraid. So if you're looking at joining in my live chat, just be prepared to have to jump through a couple of hoops to get there. Oh, I've put this stitch in the wrong place. Do you know? Undo the loop start now. Could be taxing. Not as bad as we thought. There we go. Right, okay. Betsy on live stream 3 says I was so sad to miss the live. However, I was not going to miss my chance to stitch today. As stitchers, we're all working from the same chart, but we are the ones that bring the chart to life. Take care, and thanks for sharing with us. This was on the back of a comment in my live video from one of my commenters who mentioned that her daughter, I think it was a daughter, you know, was sort of eschewing cross stitch because it was copying a pattern. Yes, cross stitch may be copying a pattern. However, we all put our unique touches to that pattern. Sometimes we, like I've just done earlier, fudge a stitch, or you know, we might miss a stitch or put a stitch in a different colour. Million and one things. So yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, cross stitch is cross stitch. We all make them unique, and we all, you know, dance to the beat of our own song. I certainly have no qualms about being, you know, unique in my stitching. And yeah, it's one of those things. There's nobody that's saying that you must follow that chart exactly. I mean, obviously, if it's like a sampler or something like that, then it's a benefit to follow the chart exactly. But when you're doing one of these full coverage pieces, you know, if you put a stitch in the wrong place, so what? Who's watching? Anyway, one last comment before I will sign off for today, because we've already got to the hour. Amy Wodarski, I just love following your videos. Thank you, Amy. I have a recommendation for Lauren. Now, Lauren was trying to do some knitting. Very Pink Knits on YouTube. She has videos that are very easy to follow. She does them in regular time and slow motion. Thanks again for sharing your lives with us. Take care. Thank you. I will pass that on to Lauren. Lauren gets herself a little frustrated, which is understandable, with her knitting. But she'll be absolutely fine. We will get there with her. So thank you for that. So again, we've had another lovely crop of comments. I am leaving them there on live stream 3's comment. I posted a floss tube a few days ago. There's a few comments come in on that, but I will leave those to the next video, I think. So in a second I'm going to do a mark off and tell you how many I've done today, but before I do that, just our usual reminders. 3 videos appearing on your screen in a moment. If you've not watched them, please do go take a moment to do so. Every view, every like, every comment helps me with YouTube's algorithm and helps me to reach more like-minded stitchers. So to support the channel, that is all that I ask. Just simply view my videos, and if you can press that thumbs up, please do so. My start and end my threads video, hover up here, it'll appear. So if you do want to have a nosy at how I do that, go ahead. My schedule is as ever: Tuesdays a floss tube, Wednesdays a stitch with me. Tuesday floss tube is just the weekly update. Wednesdays a stitch with me, Fridays a stitch with me, and they alternate between chat, ASMR style, and music. Excuse me. And then on a Sunday at 7:30 p.m. UK time, we hit the live stream. Now, as I just did mention, I have some time off in February. My plan in February is to make some additional videos as well. So do watch out for additional content that comes up in between also. So not an awful lot of stitches this morning, certainly with it being a confetti heavy area. Just 138. But hey, it's 138 stitches, 138 more than were here earlier on. And we're coming down towards that bottom edge of this piece. So all that's left really to say is thank you all so much for watching. Thank you for your subscribing, your likes, your comments, all that other good stuff. And thank you for being here video after video to support me. It is so much appreciated. So thanks all, and do take care. Happy stitching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye for now, everyone. Bye bye.